Joining us now is Tristan Snell. He is a former assistant attorney general for New York State. He also led the prosecution against Trump University. And the Washington Post here is reporting that Weisselberg is regularly, Tristan, going into work, going about his day. So why, what we've heard some people say is, why would he be doing that if he's thinking of flipping? But you say...
I say he could still be going into work every day and be thinking of flipping. In fact, a lot of times prosecutors are going to tell a potential cooperator, play it cool, be natural, do what you would normally do. Weisselberg could be going into the office and collecting more information while he's there. So the fact that he's going in doesn't necessarily tell me that much.
You've spoken a lot about how much Alan Weisselberg knows about the Trump organization and about the former president and his family. If prosecutors can't get him to flip, how big of a deal is that for their case?
Look, it's not a must-have. It's a nice-to-have. A lot of people online were kind of flipping out over this over the last day or so, saying, oh, if they can't get Weisselberg to flip, the whole case is not going to happen. That's not true. There's so much other evidence that is in a case in terms of emails. We all know how important emails can be.
But Trump himself isn't on email.
Trump himself isn't on emails, but they're going to refer to Trump. There could be meeting notes. We know there are recordings of meetings, right? We know about that famous recording that Cohen took. Yeah. He said that there were others that he provided to prosecutors. That could be the tip of a much larger iceberg of tape recordings. We don't know about that. But also just things like, we're talking about the intent to make these fraudulent statements. If you've got one version of a spreadsheet that has the correct numbers, and then you have another version of a spreadsheet that has the fake numbers, then you're showing that there was clearly an intent to move from the one set to the other. It doesn't need to be the gotcha moment of getting somebody to testify and say, this happened. It could be much more boring, but still actually get a guilty verdict.
His daughter-in-law is cooperating, giving a lot of information to prosecutors, Tristan, and we know some of the data points about what they're looking at to put pressure on Weisselberg and that includes, for instance, the payment of tuition for his grandkids. Yep. When you look at these things that we know about what they're looking into personally for Weisselberg, how much leverage does that really give prosecutors? Are these big deal items?
They can be added up. I think the fact that they're pursuing all of these other angles and now they're going after the bodyguard, Calamari, it shows that they've got enough resources on the case now that they can actually start pursuing those. If you're short-staffed, you're not going after those secondary witnesses or secondary targets. You're just trying to keep your head above water. I think it shows that now that maybe that the New York AG's office is involved too, and that potentially there's more staffing on this, they're able to try to see if they can go after some of those other angles to see if they can get whatever leverage they can.
You say can be. That's not exactly a slam dunk. Based on what you know, and you've got some experience with this organization, do you think Weisselberg will flip?
I think that there's a good shot that he will. It might take an indictment to actually get him to cooperate. Now, his deal won't be as good. The longer he waits, the worse of a deal he's going to get. It's also possible that they're in the middle of tough negotiations right now, trying to get him to cooperate, where he's trying to get total immunity and not actually face any charges at all. And the prosecutors are trying to say, look, you're going to be guilty, you're going to plea, but we can get you a reduced sentence, maybe you can avoid prison time, but there's going to be a charge or there's going to be some prison time. That may be where they're at right now in the negotiations.
Maybe we'll find out soon because our Kara Scannell is reporting from her sources that this is now in the advanced stage. So perhaps this will be moving towards a conclusion finally. Tristan Snell, thank you so much.
Thank you.